What's up, guys? Welcome to my review of the EXWAY X1 PRO. It's sitting right here, brand new on the bench, and I've been riding this board for a couple weeks now. EXWAY sent it to me from their American website. You can check them out on exwayusa.com. The cool thing about this board is that this is one of my favorite riding boards out of all 14 e-boards that I have sitting over there. You can check them out. I'll put them up on the screen right here. I have them all up on the wall, but there's some in my shop sort of under repairs as well. Some of them do take damage from time to time, so that's one thing to consider when you're looking for an e-board. You want to have something that has a decent quality to it, something that's not going to break down, and hopefully something that has a little bit of a warranty. Now on EXWAY USA's website, they do say they have a 6-month warranty, and in my experience, most of the damage happens in probably the first couple weeks that you're riding one of these boards. So you could get a lemon just like a car. You could have something go wrong on it from the get-go. So the first couple weeks on your board, kind of take it easy on the board. Try not to max it out on a lot of super big inclines. The nice thing about this one is that it's also, compared to the original X1 that came out, this one has an upgraded battery. It has larger wheels on it, and it also has more power. So this guy will go up to like 29 miles per hour. Why this is one of my favorite e-boards right now is the fact that when I took it out of the box, charged it up, I put it on the pavement for the first time. When I put my feet on this board, it felt automatically nicer than some of the other boards. It just had a more cush feel to it, and that's because they have 3mm foam grip tape on here. I've never seen actual foam grip tape on a skateboard. I've been skating for over 30 years now, and this is the first time that I've ridden an e-board with foam, with 3mm foam on the deck. It makes a huge difference when you stand on there, especially for someone like me with flat feet. So my feet will hurt after about 5 or 6 miles. Some people say, oh, e-boarding, it's so easy, you don't have to do anything. But take an e-board out there and ride it 10 miles and see if you're not tired after riding an e-board for 10 miles. It actually is quite a bit of exercise. Now the deck itself is actually pretty sweet. Also, it has sort of cutout grooves in the front so you don't get that wheel bite. One thing you also want to do as a heavier rider is you want to adjust the kingpins on the front and the back of the trucks. These are 45-degree angle trucks. They are seismic trucks as well, with new school risers on there. These have been redesigned by EXWAY. They're sort of a triangular shape, and they do have the accessories on the website. If you need to get new bushings, that's going to be one thing about this board. You're going to have to contact EXWAY directly for these. But one thing I like about this deck versus some of the other carbon fiber decks out there is that if you've ever ridden a carbon fiber board, most people say that the first thing they notice is that there's not a lot of flex in the board. So the nice thing about this board is it's made of a sort of a combination of materials. It's made from carbon fiber, fiberglass, it has maple and bamboo all incorporated into this deck. And the 18650 cells, they're not round like your typical 18650 battery layout and all in a series. They took the batteries and flattened them out inside the deck to get a thinner profile. So you don't have that kind of sort of 2016 looking battery pack hanging down underneath the board that can get hit by rocks and debris while you're riding. And if you're a beginner, the cool thing about this is that you can connect the app to your phone and you can go in there and you can change the speed modes. Now the default mode comes set to mode 1, and that's going to get you probably around like 12 miles an hour. You can go up to mode 2, 3, and 4. After you get riding a little better and you're more confident about your riding, you can try out the turbo mode. And turbo mode is supposed to get you up to about 29 miles per hour, which is super, super fast on a skateboard. I always think about my friend who said, Justin, these are not skateboards anymore. At that point, over 20 miles per hour, it becomes like a vehicle. So very important that you guys helmet up on your boards. Like, I'm not even kidding, because check this out. This is a DOT approved motorcycle helmet. I was riding on a bike path and some hooligans put some sort of Kevlar fishing line across the bike path and took me out, and I broke a DOT approved motorcycle helmet with my head. So I did not have to go to the hospital. I didn't get a concussion, but I hit the pavement really, really hard with this. So people made fun of me for wearing this helmet, but I could care less because I'm not in a coma and I don't have a major concussion or a brain injury. So very important that you guys helmet up no matter what type of board you're riding. And we also have upgraded motors on this board. They're 1200 watts a piece, so that is super powerful. That's going to get you up about a 30% incline. San Francisco type hills, you're going to go straight up, and my heavier bros are able to ride this board too. And you may have noticed on a lot of electric skateboards, the wheels look pretty big. They are much bigger than your typical standard old school style skateboard. That's because you want a smoother ride on the board, so they're bringing them down to like 85A, not too soft on the pavement, but not too hard either. Back when I used to ride ramp, we were riding 95A, so your typical street softness on the wheel is going to be about 85A, and these are also 80 millimeter wheels. And one of the most important things to me about an e-board is the weight. If it's too heavy, I don't like carrying it up the stairs or down the stairs. If I'm going to get on a train or something like that, I don't want a really heavy board that I'm lugging around. So the nice thing about this board is it doesn't have the battery pack sticking out, number one. And number two, it's about 15 pounds. Now I got to talk about their remote for a second. The R1 remote is pretty nice. I did notice that it's not like your typical sort of a Chinese component that comes from another factory. I've seen 10 e-boards with the same exact remote. So the nice thing about this one, it's not just a generic remote, it's actually one remote that they've designed. It is thinner and smaller than the typical remotes out there. It does have some kind of soft sort of coating on the outside of it. And it does say it can charge up to 1 amp, from 0.5 volt to 1 amp. So it is rechargeable on the very bottom of the remote. It has a nice little lanyard on the bottom to go around your wrist when you're riding. And this is an Android type cable charger, so you could charge this on the road. You cannot charge it while you're riding though. That's kind of the only bummer. I've been in a situation where I was getting low on my remote battery, but I couldn't charge the remote without stopping, turning it off, and charging it. So in the future, I'd like to see that some of these companies make a remote that you can charge while you're riding. And the nicest thing about this controller, compared to some of the cheaper ones out there in China, if you get an e-board that's say around $100 to $200, they do exist out there, but the technology that is used in those type of remotes is a lot different than the drive system on this one. They do have a very gradual takeoff on here, and they have sort of gradual regenerative braking, which is super nice. So it's not a real hard brake. So some of the cheaper ones out there, actually, when I was first getting e-boards, probably 3 years ago now on my channel, some of the first ones I rode actually pitched me off the front of the board, and that will happen. And the problem with buying an e-board is that if you're not watching a review on a board, you probably won't know from just buying it and getting it and opening it up and taking it out for the first time. So be extra careful. Even if you buy another brand, if you're watching this video, hopefully you learned something today, that some of those brakes can be super aggressive, and this board has really nice gradual braking, which is really nice for stopping. Even on a quick stop, it's going to gradually bring you to a stop instead of pitching you off. It doesn't lock up the wheels. So I think the EXWAY X1 Pro has a lot going for it. As far as the range has been extended, it's a longer range than boosted board. It's faster than a boosted board, and it does have the recessed batteries in the deck. It has the soft top on the top of the deck. That's the 3mm foam grip tape, which I've never ever seen on any other e-board out there. So you have a really smooth ride on this board. And this one happens to be, aside from my AT boards, I love riding AT boards because they have super big wheels. You can go over grass and anything, but as far as my road boards go, this is my favorite road board right now out of about 14 boards. So if you're looking for something a little bit better than those sort of $200 to $500 boards, this is probably definitely the best board under $1,000 right now. And you can check out the link below if you want to grab one of these. I'm not an affiliate, but this is just an honest review about my opinion about how the board rides and whether you should buy it or not. So I'm going to give this one a star rating, and I usually do give star ratings in my reviews, 1 through 5. I have to say that this board is actually about a 4.5 out of 5. There are some things that they can change on it coming up. Obviously, I'd like to see some of the changes we mentioned in this video, but overall it's a very good board. It rides awesome. It's super fast. It has multiple modes, Bluetooth, and everything else you could possibly want on a skateboard, and it's just better than a boosted board in my opinion. So very durable, and you have a warranty on this one, so super nice. And you can get in contact with these guys in the US, which also makes it really nice for you guys. So you don't have to try to send something back to China. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching my channel. I'm Justin Davis. Take care. I'll see you on the next one.